Have you ever stopped to think about a single compound that plays such a fundamental role in, well, who you are, how you feel, even how your body builds muscle?
It's a big one.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a hormone that's often misunderstood, maybe sometimes revered, and occasionally, yeah, even feared, especially in fitness circles.
Definitely.
Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging right into the world of testosterone, often called the king of male hormones.
The king, indeed.
Our mission here is really to unearth the foundational knowledge about this incredibly powerful compound. We're drawing on a whole range of sources, scientific profiles, specialized fitness content, trying to give you the clear, unbiased facts.
And what's truly fascinating, I think, is that we'll explore not just what testosterone is, but really why it's so vital. And crucially, what happens when we try to influence it from the outside.
Right.
It ties into that Abo Muscles philosophy mentioned in our sources. Knowledge before muscle, at awareness before training. It's all about understanding before you act.
Exactly. Because, as they also stress, your health has no substitute.
None at all. And it begs the question, doesn't it? How much do we truly understand this hormone before making potentially significant decisions about it?
That's the core of it, yeah. We want to talk frankly, like the sources say, without embellishment or beating around the bush. So let's unpack this. Where do we start? What is testosterone, fundamentally?
Okay, well, at its heart, testosterone is the primary androgenic hormone.
Androgenic.
It just means it's largely responsible for developing male characteristics.
Yeah.
It's also a key member of the steroid family. These are powerful natural compounds in your body.
Okay.
Now, it's mainly produced in the testes in males, but females produce it too, just in much smaller amounts, maybe 10 times less. Still crucial, though.
10 times less, wow. And where does it come from originally?
You might be surprised it's actually derived directly from cholesterol.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Cholesterol. Okay. And its functions sound like they go way beyond just, the obvious male traits.
Oh, absolutely. The core functions are incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
Yes, for males, it drives those secondary sexual characteristics, deeper voice, body hair, male physique. But beyond that, it's absolutely key for building muscle tissue.
Right.
And maintaining strong bones, bone density, increasing overall strength. It's fundamental.
And it seems like it's not just physical, right? It digs deeper into, overall well-being.
Exactly. It massively impacts general health. We're talking mood, confidence, energy levels. It's all tied in.
Ah.
And for anyone active, listen to this. It plays a vital role in producing red blood cells.
Okay, so that connects to endurance.
Directly. Better oxygen transport means better endurance, better performance. So, the genius of testosterone isn't just development. It's this relentless, multifaceted job as your body's master builder and repair crew. Influences everything. Energy, recovery.
Master builder and repair crew. I like that. So how does this master builder actually get its orders? What's the biological process? Has it regulated?
Well, biologically, it's tightly controlled. It gets its signals from the pituitary gland in your brain. 2 key hormones are released. LH, luteinizing hormone, and FSH, follicle-stimulating hormone.
LH and FSH. Okay.
Those signals travel down and basically tell the testes, okay, time to produce and release testosterone.
Got it. And once it's made, once it's circulating, how does it actually, make muscle grow? What happens at the cellular level?
Right, so once it's released, it travels in the bloodstream, and it looks for specific docking stations called androgen receptors, which are located in your muscle cells.
Okay.
This binding action is the trigger. It stimulates protein synthesis, literally building new muscle protein.
Building blocks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it reduces muscle breakdown. It protects the muscle you already have. We call that an anti-catabolic effect.
Anti-catabolic, like a shield for your gains.
Precisely. It helps you hold on to muscle, especially when you're training hard or maybe diet.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So understanding the natural process, let's shift to the human intervention side, this whole idea of exogenous testosterone, the stuff from outside the body. Where did that story even begin?
It's quite a history, actually. People experimented with, let's say, crude testicular extracts for ages. But the real scientific breakthrough was 1935.
1935?
Yeah. 2 chemists, Adolf Butenandt and Leopold Ruzicka, they actually managed to isolate and then synthesize testosterone, make it in a lab. Huge deal.
Wow. Nobel Prize worthy.
Both got Nobel Prizes for, yeah. And the first form they could successfully inject was something called testosterone propionate.
Testosterone propionate. We'll come back to that name.
Oh.
So exogenous just means any testosterone not made by your own body.
Yeah.
Could be medical, could be something else.
Exactly. And this is where our sources say it gets really interesting, the core concept of esters.
Esters, right,
Yeah.
because you hear all these different names, ananthide, cypionate, propionate. Are there different types of testosterone?
Fundamentally, no. That's the key takeaway. All exogenous testosterone is the same basic hormone molecule. The difference, the thing that changes how it acts, is the ester that's attached to it.
Okay, so the ester is like, what, a tail?
Kind of. Think of it like a time release mechanism. It dictates how quickly the testosterone gets released into your system and how long it stays active. It's half-life. That's where all the variety comes from.
So same engine, different fuel delivery, some fast, some slow release. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And how do people usually get this external testosterone into their system?
Well, injections are definitely the most common method and
Like-
generally seen as most effective, especially if we're talking performance enhancement.
Right.
But you also have transdermal options, gels, or patches you put on your skin. And there are even oral forms, though they often have lower efficiency or other issues for athletic use.
Okay, so let's dig into the why. Why would someone use external testosterone? What are the main drivers and what benefits do the sources point out?
Primarily, there are two distinct paths. First is hormone replacement therapy, HRT.
Medical use.
Right. A doctor prescribes it to bring someone's naturally low testosterone levels back into a normal, healthy range, restore function.
Okay.
The second reason, often done outside of medical guidance, is for performance enhancement, using doses much higher than natural levels to achieve specific athletic or physique goals.
Gotcha. And the benefits, I assume they apply to both scenarios, but maybe more dramatically with higher doses. What's a key one?
A huge one is increased recovery ability, massively increased.
How so?
Well, when you train, you're essentially breaking down muscle tissue slightly. The growth happens during recovery when it rebuilds stronger. Testosterone drastically speeds up and improves that whole rebuilding process.
So you can train harder more often, basically.
Exactly. More efficient physique development because recovery is faster.
And you mentioned that shield effect earlier, the anti-catabolic thing.
Yes, stronger anti-catabolic protection. Hormones like cortisol, the stress hormone, can actually tear down muscle and encourage fat storage. Testosterone helps block that.
Protects your muscle.
Protects your muscle, prevents fat gain, especially useful during intense training or when cutting calories.
And what about the internal engine? You mentioned red blood cells.
Right. It leads to an increased red blood cell count. More red blood cells mean more oxygen carried to your muscles.
What do you mean?
Greater endurance. You can train harder, longer.
Yeah.
Your muscles work more efficiently.
Okay. And the last big one seems to be about protein.
Yes, increased protein efficiency. Testosterone boosts protein synthesis, the building part, and helps your body hold on to protein better, partly by increasing nitrogen retention.
Nitrogen. Okay.
It's crucial for building muscle, obviously, but also for protecting muscle when you're dieting. Your body just becomes better at using the protein you eat.
So pulling it all together, what does this mean for someone, looking to optimize their body, whether it's for health reasons or performance goals?
Well, if you connect the dots, these benefits, faster recovery, muscle protection, better endurance, better protein use, they hit right at the core reasons why exogenous testosterone is so appealing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Whether it's medically needed or for an athletic dream, they directly address the goals.
Yeah.
But, and this is but it's crucial, absolutely crucial, to understand these benefits don't exist in a vacuum. They come with complexities, trade-offs, risks.
Right. Let's get into those complexities, starting with the different forms. We mentioned the ester is key. How does that play out with the common types people might hear about?
Exactly. The ester dictates the release and the dosing frequency. So let's look at a few.
Okay, start with the original one you mentioned, propionate.
Testosterone propionate. Yeah, the OG. It's fast-acting. Its half-life is maybe around 48 hours, give or take.
So frequent injections needed.
Very frequent, usually every other day, maybe even daily for some, to keep blood levels stable. A potential upside, some users report, is maybe slightly less water retention compared to longer esters.
Oh, interesting. Any downsides?
The main one is injection site discomfort. Because it's a shorter ester and often needs frequent shots, it can be more irritating for some people.
Okay. Then you have the really popular ones, right? Enanthate and cypionate.
Yes. Testosterone enanthate and testosterone cypionate. These are the workhorses, very popular. They are slow-acting, long esters.
Meaning fewer injections.
Much fewer. Their half-lives are way longer, around 15 days for enanthate, maybe a day longer for cypionate. So you might only inject once or twice a week to maintain stable levels.
And are they different? I feel like I've heard people say cypionate is stronger, especially in the U.S.
That's a common myth, an urban legend, really. Our sources are clear. Chemically, they're almost identical. Cypionate just has one extra carbon atom on its ester chain. In terms of effect in the body, especially with pharmaceutical-grade versions, they're considered interchangeable. Twins, effectively.
Good to clear that up. Okay, so from the common long esters, what about something totally different, like testosterone suspension? You said it has no ester.
Exactly. No ester attached at all. It's just raw testosterone suspended, usually in water, not oil.
What does that mean for how it acts?
Super fast, like 100% absorption almost immediately. Its active life is less than 24 hours, so you need very frequent injections. Minimum once daily, often twice daily.
Wow. And being water-based.
Can make the injections quite painful for a lot of users. It's a very different beast.
Definitely sounds like it. And lastly, the blends, like Sustanon 250 or Omnidrin.
Right. These aren't single ester products. They're cocktails. Sustanon 250, the famous one, mixes 4 different testosterone esters with varying release times, short, medium, and long.
Why mix them?
The original idea from the pharma company Organon was for HRT. The blend was supposed to provide a quick initial hit and then a very long sustained release, allowing for maybe only one injection every few weeks for medical patients.
But for performance use?
For performance, users trying to maintain high stable levels find they need to inject it much more often, maybe every other day or every 3 days, because of those different peaks and troughs from the various esters. It doesn't quite provide the stable high levels needed for performance with infrequent shots.
And Omnidrin?
Very, very similar to Sustanon. Virtually identical, just a tiny swap in one of the longest esters. Functionally treated the same way by users. The key with blends is managing those multiple release times.
Okay, so a lot of power, different delivery systems, but power always comes with a flip side. Let's talk seriously about the risks and side effects. What do the sources emphasize here?
The absolute universal truth, hammered home in the sources, is that all anabolic steroids, testosterone included, carry potential negative side effects, period. Just like any potent medication. Understanding this is non-negotiable.
Right, and there is one side effect often called certain with external use, testicular atrophy, shrinking testes. Why does that happen? Is it permanent?
It happens because when you pump in testosterone from the outside, your body senses it has enough or too much. So it shuts down its own natural production in the testes via that LH-FSH signal we talked about.
Feedback loop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The testes aren't getting the signal to produce, so they shrink from lack of use, essentially. The good news. For most people, this is generally reversible once you stop the external testosterone and allow natural production to hopefully restart.
Okay, that's important. What about other common ones? Water retention or bloat? Is that inevitable?
It can happen, definitely. But the sources suggest it's often exaggerated and very much linked to your diet, especially a high-carb intake.
Diet matters.
Hugely. And also, critically, it's linked to estrogen conversion. Testosterone can convert to estrogen via an enzyme called aromatase. Higher estrogen can cause water retention.
Ah, so you can manage that.
Yes, often quite effectively with aromatase inhibitors, AIS. These drugs block that conversion, keeping estrogen levels down and reducing water retention significantly.
Okay. That same conversion causes another feared side effect, right? Gynecomastia or gyno.
Precisely. That excess estrogen from aromatization can stimulate breast tissue growth in men. It's a direct estrogenic effect.
Preventable.
Largely preventable, again, with proper use of aromatase inhibitors like anastrozole or letrozole to keep estrogen in check. If it does develop significantly, sometimes surgery is needed, but prevention is key.
Got it. Then there are the bigger health markers. High blood pressure, cholesterol problems.
Yeah, these are serious potential risks. If you already have high blood pressure or unfavorable cholesterol levels, using testosterone can definitely make it worse. The risk goes up.
But can it be managed?
For many, yes, through careful attention to diet, low saturated fats, plenty of fiber, and especially supplementing with things like omega-3 fatty acids. Cardiovascular exercise is crucial too, but it requires diligence and monitoring, especially if you're predisposed.
Okay. And acne. People associate steroids with bad skin sometimes.
It's another one that can happen, but sources suggest severe cases are often linked to using non-pharmaceutical underground lab gear.
Quality matters.
Immensely. Impurities or incorrect dosing in black market products can trigger skin issues. Using clean, human-grade testosterone seems to reduce this risk substantially for many.
And we shouldn't forget the mind, right? Psychological effects.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Often overlooked, but real. Increased aggression, irritability, significant mood swings. The roid rage stereotype isn't entirely baseless for some individuals, especially at high doses. And then there's the potential crash after stopping, which can involve depression as your natural hormones try to recover.
Man, this really drives home that Abo Muscle's point. Knowledge is power, but wrong use can destroy everything. It's serious stuff. So how do doses and the length of time you use it cycles factor into this risk-reward balance?
Hugely. Dose and duration are probably the biggest factors influencing the risk side of the equation.
Okay, so doses. HRT is low, doctor said. But for athletes?
Significantly higher. Our sources mention that even 250 milligrams a week can give a noticeable performance edge. But 500 milligrams a week is often talked about as a kind of gold standard dose for solid results in performance circles.
And people go higher.
Oh yeah, 1,000 milligrams a week isn't uncommon for more advanced users, even 1,500 milligrams sometimes, though that's less frequent.
Yeah.
But here's the absolute key point, the risk-reward ratio.
Explain that.
Higher dose means potentially bigger, faster results, more muscle, more strength. But it also means a significantly greater increase in the likelihood and severity of all those side effects we just discussed. The health risks climb steeply with a dose.
So where should someone starting out even think about being?
Most reputable advice strongly suggests beginners should not exceed 500 milligrams per week, often starting lower to assess tolerance. Going higher dramatically shifts that balance towards risk.
Makes sense. And what about the duration of the cycle length?
Minimum effective cycle length is generally considered 8 weeks. Anything shorter, and you don't really give the compound enough time to build up and exert its full effects consistently.
Okay, optimal.
For quality results, 12 weeks is often seen as much better, allowing for more solid, stable gains.
And longer. 16 weeks. More.
Experienced users might go 16 weeks or occasionally longer. But again, just like with dose, the longer the cycle, the more suppression of your natural system, the more potential for side effects to accumulate, and the harder recovery might be. That risk-reward ratio shifts again.
So what's a reasonable balance for long-term health?
The consensus often leans towards 12 to 16 weeks as being a good balance point for many athletes, long enough for significant results, but hopefully not so long as to make recovery overly difficult or cause unmanageable side effects, assuming proper ancillaries and health monitoring are in place.
It really comes back to those disclaimers, doesn't it? The Abo Muscles philosophy again. Things like not for under 18s, ideally used under medical supervision if for medical need. It's not magic. Requires proper diet, intense training.
Exactly. It's about informed choices, understanding what you are doing, why you are doing it, and what the potential consequences are. Being aware.
Doing the right thing for your body, as the source says.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today. Testosterone's functions, the history, the esters, the delivery methods, the benefits, and crucially, the risks and side effects, plus dose and duration. Wow. So here's where it gets really interesting for you listening. Thinking about all this, what insights maybe surprised you the most? Was it the esters, the specific risks, the balance?
Yeah, and that leads to a bigger question for everyone, doesn't it? How does understanding this full picture, the good, the bad, the complex, how does that change your perspective on chasing performance goals? And what does doing the right thing, as we just said, truly mean for your long-term health?
It's powerful stuff, and that Abo Muscles reminder feels like the perfect place to land. Testosterone.
Yeah.
Not your enemy, but not your toy. It's the foundation, but also the red line. You have to respect its power.
Absolutely.
If your levels are genuinely low, medically low, let's treat it medically, seek help. But if your body's working fine naturally, don't risk it for a quick muscle. That's the advice.
Solid advice.
Always prioritize that awareness, that long-term health, over just grabbing for immediate gains. Because muscle can be built right, but your health, once that's seriously damaged, nobody else can rebuild it for you.